Hey, what's going on, guys? Phil here. Welcome back to some MechWarrior 5 Clans news. We have the launch trailer for Wolves of Tukkayid. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to watch it through its entirety, and then I'm going to break down and give you some of my feedback and thoughts on what they have here. So without further ado, let's go ahead, hop in here. All right, before I dive into my review of the launch trailer, look, if you are looking for anything 3D printed, household items, toys, big toys, or anything like, like this, you should reach out to Das Print House. They are our sponsor for this video. Like I said, thank you again for being a channel sponsor. Nick is a fantastic guy. Again, if you're looking for a small company to work with, great prints, great prices, he's out of the US. Again, hit him up. I'll have all of his links to Das Print House. You can mention NGNG, get a discount as well. You can ask him questions on the NGNG Discord. If you need something small, again, 3-inch big, if you need something bigger, if you need towns, if you need buildings, if again, anything you can think of. I was actually just asking him about a return vent cover as well, stuff like that. Hit him up. He is your man. You can get a one-on-one discussion. You can get quotes instantly, all of this stuff. And again, he does ship worldwide. But again, if you want to support a small business here in the US, I can't recommend them enough. Das Print House, thank you again for sponsoring this video.
I offer you a patrol to decide the fate of Terra. I have chosen the world Tukkayid to act as our proxy battleground. The Calm Guard will defend this world, supported by the appropriate air, artillery, armor, and battle mech regiments.
Calm Guards are an army of glorified garrison units. We would be cowards to refuse.
Whose side are you on?
The wolves await your decision.
They will come for us with everything they have.
Crusaders have had it out for the wolves since the start of this invasion. Prepare to drop.
Find us a way out of this trap.
Stay out of my way, spheroid.
We will finally bring this damned invasion to an end.
Must be painful, witnessing him poison Rana's mind with his spheroid ways.
You all come to us somewhat feral.
We are all united in our mission to return from exile and re-take Terra!
Rana? She is one of our finest warriors.
We are fighting to end this, once and for all.
This planet was a death trap, and we walked right into it.
This has become a fight for the survival of our clan. That is a battle we cannot afford to lose.
The Primus and I await your response.
Okay, man, a ton of stuff to break down here. Obviously, if you're watching this video, it's going to be either today, the 3rd, or the 4th. If you guys are looking at purchasing this game, I do have an affiliate link. They started the content creator program a while ago. Basically, if you guys use the link, I get like 20%. If you want to use someone else's, that's totally fine. But if you want to support this channel, I'll have a link down below. You guys can purchase this. Also, we have like Shadow of Kerensky. I'll just have all the affiliate links down below if you're going to pick up the base game or others. So just full transparency. You don't have to use my code, but if you'd like to. It's not going to influence how I review games. And if you know anything about me talking about MechWarrior 5, well, I don't hold back. So let's go ahead and dive in here. Obviously, the cool thing with this, as far as DLC, is it's tapping into, well, the big story, the clan invasion of the Inner Sphere. Obviously, we've already played the Jaguars, we've played the Ghost Bear, now we get to play the Wolves on a very influential albeit probably the biggest influential battle as far as the lore is concerned, stopping or trying to stop the clans in their invasion of the Inner Sphere. Okay, so let's go and break down really quickly what's happening here. There's a few key components and points of this trailer that I think are really fun. One of my favorite characters is Phelan Kell, and if you don't know him, you are going to be introduced to him, it looks like, in this game. I wasn't quite sure. Obviously, we knew they had, some other characters like, Ulrich Kerensky, who is, of course, the Khan and then becomes Ilkhan of the invasion. Anyways, long story short, my favorite character is going to be in this. I don't know if you're playing him. I know, obviously, you're playing his sort of love interest here as well. I don't know if it's going to go through his full story arc and how he becomes part of Clan Wolf. I went by Phelan Kell actually up until MechWarrior Online, and then I had to switch my moniker because, well, at the time, Piranha Games said you couldn't use canon names. They definitely didn't care about that, so I could have kept that. Anyways, let's go ahead and break down some details here. I'm going to go lower the volume just a bit here so we're not blowing out your ears. Obviously, the first mech you see is a catapult, and it's launching some indirect fire against clan mechs. And there's going to be a theme here in this is one of the most brutal battles the clans have faced to date, and there's a reason for it.
I offer you a patrol to decide the fate of Terra.
Okay, so who is this guy and what is up with the eye patch? Okay, so Comstar that we've seen in the other titles with, of course, Ghost Bear and Jaguars, you've always seen Comstar presence. Well, one of the main Comstar guys is actually on the invasion, I guess technically warship, and gets sort of palsy, if you will, with Clan Wolf, and that's sort of who you see here. Comstar wasn't doing it for any of their, just making sure no one hurt the HPG stations, and we're, here for no. They were collecting information. They didn't know who necessarily the clanners were, but once this guy right in front of you found out that they were invading the Inner Sphere for a la Terra, Earth, that we live on today, that became a problem because that's where Comstar's, interests lie. Anyways, so they took all the information. They were basically just a giant spy network. They took all of it. They found out all the weaknesses as far as the clans, and they used the clan bidding system, the honor system, against them. So culminating, no one could stop the invasion from happening, right? It was like a blitzkrieg. You've got high tech, very high trained warriors hitting, basically coming into the Inner Sphere, right? Wedge formation, if you will. Some clans hit a little bit more resistance than others, but Clan Wolf in particular, right down the middle, was just steamrolling. And this is, again, what's being addressed here. So what did they do? They said, okay, we're going to take your rules of warfare and we're going to challenge you on to stop the Inner Sphere from being invaded. And that is what you're basically seeing. So for a little bit of lore, I'm sure you could go into it, and there are some nerds out there, again, that are going to dive in here. But as far as just the gist of it, what it is Comstar realizing the objective of the clans and saying, not on my terms, we're going to use your rules against you. We challenge you, and come and meet this, or you're, anyways. So that's what this is.
I have chosen.
Okay, another little part here.
The world, Tukkayid.
Tukkayid. We always say Tukkayid, but Tukkayid. Some things here before we go any further here. First thing here is we have the Bane. This is a not new chassis, by the way. It may be a new chassis in MechWarrior 5 Clans, but it's not a new chassis in MechWarrior. MechWarrior Online already has the Bane. It is basically a ballistic and weapons platform. You can see the setup here: dual Gauss, dual ER Peep, dual ER Large. You have Reyna. You have Runic, Wallister, Gronagol, and Liston, and then you have Elementals. For those that missed it, Elementals now just are part of your star. They'll bounce around, attack targets. You can issue commands, but also if they die, they replenish after X amount of time. But the first thing you're going to notice is the Bane here. Obviously, cockpit view. Nothing really changed from the last. You do have comm guards, screeners, if you will. So again, this is the comm guards have challenged the clans, and we're going to get into a little bit of details here. But you also see the Naga, NGA, Incubus, Linebacker, and the Shadowhawk 2C. These are all new chassis to MechWarrior 5, but not to MechWarrior in general. We already have it in MechWarrior Online. And so anyways, here we go.
The world Tukkayid to act as our proxy battleground. The calm.
Ooh, one thing to note right here, and this is actually something brand new. I'm going to replay that really quickly here. We have the linebacker here. And that is what you see is a Arrow 4. They talked about the Arrow 4, which is basically an artillery system. You can see it's a single missile and it is arcing up. From what I've seen in the last pictures, they said it had something unique happen. What I do believe is happening is it goes up and then it comes down. So you could be effectively behind cover and concealment and get a lock onto a target by friendly, and then you could just drop and rain. These do have in lore some stupid long range. I mean, you're talking about artillery piece here, but I did see around like 900 meters. That probably can be extended with upgrades and so forth. So this is the first look at the Naga. And again, the Naga is a assault mech. It is designed specifically the base prime unit for artillery support. Not all clans use artillery, by the way. Some are like, it's dishonorable and all that stuff. Clan Wolf is sort of in the middle. They do what they need to do.
The calm guard will defend this world, supported by the appropriate air, artillery, armor, and battle mech regiments.
Comm guards are an army of glorified garrison units.
We'll stop on that answer. Now, for those that don't know, this is a very key part here, is this character.
Armor and battle mech regiment.
Right there. Now, you notice that one dude, the giant, bear man, saying the comm guards are just basically militia. There's nothing to worry about. Ha! It's because they don't know what she knows. And that is Natasha Kerensky right there. Now, some of you guys out there may be like, again, Natasha is one of the best pilots in the Inner Sphere. She's also Clan Wolf. Natasha was part of the Wolf Dragoons. Go a little bit back here. I talked about this previously. Before basically the invasion, Clan Wolf had sent a scouting unit to the Inner Sphere, which turned up to be a merc unit called Wolf Dragoons, who showed up with, I don't know, mechs that hadn't really ever been seen since the Star League collapse and the exodus of Kerensky 300 years ago. Interesting. That is weird. Coincidence. Anyways, she was a part of that. She's a total badass. She is older in this. I want to say she's probably in her 60s. If she's up there in age, she's seen a lot of it. And she also knows Comstar's fuckery. She knows there's more information, and Wolf Dragoons had collected information about it. Now, for those that don't know, Wolf Dragoons stayed loyal with the Inner Sphere. When they were supposed to come back and help with the invasion, they did not. They chose to stay. When the invasion kicked off, Natasha pieced on out. I don't know if she brought any other warriors with her, but I would assume there was probably a few. I don't know that for certain. Lore nerds, correct me if I'm wrong here. So she went back to Clan Wolf. She is here in the, you can see she's in the camis, uniform of Clan Wolf, and so forth. So anyways, she knows what's going on. But the big mistake here, and the sort of funny part about it, is this phrase right here.
Comm guards are an army of glorified garrison units.
Now, what they're about to find out is the comm guards are not. The comm guards are highly trained, secretive, one of the most elite units in the Inner Sphere that no one, even though Hans Devian sort of speculated and there was some rumors that, Comstar was up to more, they basically have equal pairing as far as tech versus the clans. They have Star League tech, and they have Star League mechs fully equipped. They're trained. They're also not the same unit size as mainstream Inner Sphere units, whereas a Lance is 4. The comm guards operate a little bit different, as well. So what he doesn't know is the Comstar chose this planet in particular and set up. So basically, they're challenging all the clans out there. And that we're going to get into a little bit about that as well. But as you can see here, Zeus, we've got other mechs here, artillery units or whatever. You can see proximity mines. There's a bunch of other stuff. Just basically knock out artillery.
We would be cowards to refuse.
Well, you would.
Are you on?
The wolves await your decision.
Now, again, plot within plot there. Ulrich Kerensky set this up in a way. And spoiler alert, Ulrich is a warden at heart. He's still a clanner, and he's still a wolf warrior, but he's also a warden wolf, which basically means is, in my opinion, and my looking at it, is he agreed to this battle full knowing what the clans were and what it potentially would prevent if Comstar won. And this also played on the weaknesses of the clans, which is the clans were set up for very fast blitzkrieg missions where you get in, you get out, you get it done. And this was going to be a little bit different. Obviously, the comm guards were set up. They were entrenched. They literally made a planet of, I mean, just think Hunger Games. Being a defender is a lot more, viable, and you're just in better situation. You can ambush. I mean, you can do everything against your invading army, especially when the army has to hit certain objectives. And if they don't capture said objectives or do said objectives, then they lose. And this is a big game, and so Comstar knows how the game works, and the clans don't realize that they're walking right into a trap, and that's what it is. Now, Piranha Games did choose Clan Wolf, and there's a reason for it. No spoilers there, but it's about to get a little bit squirrely for him. One thing he noticed here is air. Basically, he didn't mention sea, but air, artillery. They're bringing everything to bear, which not all clans use those assets too. So that's another thing. That's another weakness that the clans have is, again, they want more of a direct confrontational thing and not guerrilla warfare. They're not good at that.
They will come for us with everything they have.
Crusaders have had it out for the wolves since the start of this invasion. Prepare to drop.
Find us a way out of this trap.
Now that was actually really cool. It's our first look at what are called like drop pods. There's a few different descriptions of them in lore in the books, and some of them are a little bit different. You have high, as far as like orbit, suborbit, so forth. But this is actually really cool. I've always sort of said, especially when you see them like in Helldivers and other like genres being used, they do have them in as far as BattleTech lore, and so that is a really cool view. Again, Reyna is more on her later when we're playing the game, and again, I will be streaming this live, so if you're watching this, make sure to tune in. I'll have all the links down below.
Out of this trap.
I don't really like her, so no. Okay, we did see a naval asset being used there, and again, that is something completely different that the clanners were probably not expecting. Is naval looks like ships on a planet being used. It looks like artillery, and again, just hold out against the comm guards, onslaught, destroy the RRS Elder. And again, these are little things that, just would be surprising all of the clans across the entire planet. Now, this is happening on a global scale. Each clan has to choose whether or not they're going to take the mission.
What? Stay out of my way, spheroid.
All right, our first look at my character, and that is Phelan Kell. Man, this is going to be quite interesting.
What? Stay out of my way, spheroid.
All right, Vlad here, man, protagonist, antagonist, that just, it depends on your viewpoint. Again, when you read about this, in especially the Kerensky trilogy, and you read about Phelan and specifically his rise to power, and Vlad and his sort of fall to grace, but then a rise again. Interesting, very, very interesting about that. So anyways, two very well-known characters with, again, love interest for Phelan. And it gets even different because of clan culture and anyways, we'll get into that later on, I'm sure, when we're playing the game. But just know that these are two huge characters in Battletech lore. And one of them is, again, Phelan is not a clanner. He is basically captured and becomes a clanner, a bondsman, which you may be saying he's a warrior here. That's a little bit different. And there's reasons for that. And I don't want to spoil anything because I have a feeling they're going to show some of this and what happens in some of the other cinematics. So
We will finally bring this damned invasion to an end. Must be.
Okay, now we have another scene. Again, Reyna and Phelan. Love interest, definitely different there. He's wanting the invasion to, well, stop. You know, there's reasons for it, so forth, and we'll go into that.
Painful, witnessing him poison Rana's mind with his spheroid ways.
You all come to us somewhat feral.
By the way, Vlad hates Phelan's guts. Let's just get that out of the way. If Vlad could not, oh man, it's so, spoiler, earmuffs, if you don't want to hear this, let's just go and say this. The reason Vlad hates him even more doesn't have to do with Reyna per se, but also the fact of Phelan saves his life. Oh yeah. The guy that captures Phelan Kell, hounds him every single day, treats him like absolute garbage, filth under his boots, is also the guy that saves his life. And because of said action, because he doesn't just save Vlad's life, he saves someone else very important, he becomes a warrior in Clan Wolf. And because of that, man, you want to just talk about just rubbing you raw. And yeah, anyways, so there's that.
We're all united in our mission to return from exile.
Now I don't know who this freaking monstrosity of a man is, but do you even lift, bro? Obviously, clearly an elemental. I think that's a given. Now, I do know that Phelan goes on to fight an elemental. There's more on that in the lore. I don't believe this is the case because this is Tukkayid. I think that's down the road. But yeah, that dude's that's a big ass dude.
We're all united in our mission to return from exile and re-take Terra.
Rana? She is one of our finest warriors.
We are fighting to end this, once and for all.
And again, we have a shot of Jaden and Co. This isn't just happening again against Clan Wolf. This is every invading clan shows up and, well, gets a hello from, you know, space AT&T. And it is not pleasant, and it doesn't end well for everybody. There's a lot of death and destruction, you know, on a scale that the clans were not ready for.
This planet was a death trap, and we walked right into it.
This has become a fight for the survival of our clan. That is a battle we cannot afford to lose.
The one thing that Clan Wolf have is they're very adaptive to this situation. And again, no spoiler alerts here, but because of Phelan in a way, and because of Natasha and their experience with Inner Sphere and the tactics and stuff, they come on with a little bit different perspective and viewpoint because they're insiders. You know, Natasha had been fighting with and or against Inner Sphere units throughout the Inner Sphere for decades. Phelan, relatively young, but he's also an academy graduate, worked obviously with the Kellhounds before he's captured. And so he has information even about just numbers and unit numbers and tactics and strategy that the base just clanners just don't, because they just don't know that information. So again, shot here, two very, very important characters.
The Primus and I await your response.
Right. Again, you can't refuse the Batchall here. Pretty big deal for all the clans involved. Wow. So anyways, very, very cool from my standpoint. Again, I've been looking forward to seeing this sort of story come to light, if you will. I'll go ahead and mute it in the background here. But yeah, so we'll be playing this tomorrow when this comes out. I don't know if you guys are excited for it. We do have, I think, 20 missions, they said, obviously with cinematics. We've seen from other DLCs and the base game too, how much cinematics add as far as length to the game. Obviously different difficulty levels as well. I may even challenge myself to just ramp it up. Yeah, and we'll see what else, if they've made any changes. You know, I definitely have brought in some feedback about the base systems that they have. You know, I've talked about the Mech Lab. I know some of you guys have already responded on that one. I'll cover that a little bit longer and down the road, but altogether, this is one of my favorite story times in the BattleTech universe, outside of just like back in the day with like Great Death Legion. I think would be really, really cool as well. But basically you're seeing here all of the, and I think you're going to see cinematics with all the main characters you've already established. May even see some from Novacat and you know, even Jade Falcon. By the way, I do speculate that they will do a Jade Falcon you know, DLC depending on the success of this. That's what I would assume. But anyways, this comes out December 4th, tomorrow. I don't know how many hours it's going to take, but we'll go ahead and dive in. So anyways, just want to say again, welcome to everyone out there. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to click the like button. Let me know in the comments down below. Are you a Clan Wolf hater out there? I know a lot of people don't like Clan Wolf and they're like, oh, of course. But yeah, did you like the, you know, the trilogy as far as Kerensky trilogy? That's what I actually started with. The second novel, In Blood of Kerensky, is where I started in BattleTech. I was 12 years old when I read my first BattleTech book. So again, Phelan Kell being a character that I've absolutely loved, along with like others like Kai and Victor and so forth. So anyways, it's got a special little place in my heart where I'm going to be a little bit more, I guess, picky when it comes to stuff. Again, we've seen the Jaguars, we've seen the Ghost Bear, very different cultures in both of those. It'll be interesting seeing the wolf. And again, the single wolf isn't strong. It's the pack. And I wonder if they're going to be showcasing that, but I'm super excited. So let me know down below if you are a, you know, if you like clans, which clan would it be? And are you excited for this? And then also too, in the comments, let me know what, if you're going to do a Jade Falcon DLC after this, what would you do? Would you do Tie Cross? I mean, you know, Refusal. I don't know. Where would you go with this? I know someone was like, I wish they would have done Jade Falcons. And I was like, oh, I don't think you want to showcase that. You know, anyways, let me know in the comments. Just want to say thanks again for watching. I'll see you on the next video, and I will be doing content for this. So I hope to see you tune in. So make sure to join us on Discord. I'll have a link down below, and we'll see you on the next video. Until next time, peace. Hey, if you guys made it to the end here, you're a select few. Just want to say thank you again for watching all the way to the end. Speaking of saying thank you, we got a discount going on over on the store, 10% off all items or orders over $20. So if you're looking for a new desk mat, again, we've got a whole host of them here. You just go to accessories, mouse pads. We have desk mats that are the full size. And if you want something a little bit small, just click on the mouse pads. But we have all the designs that we have done over the years, along with we've got some hats, and you know, it's getting a little bit colder, cover the dome. If you're looking for some t-shirts and hoodies, again, you can check all of our selection out. Again, just want to say thanks again. Go check it out. You know, you deserve it. You've been a good MechWarrior. So again, nogutsnogalaxy.net. There's a 10% just global discount on all orders over $20.